Tell me how things changed in 2008, 2009 for you.
I was doing really well. I moved my portfolio, so I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Seattle, Vancouver. I went through a pretty friendly divorce, late 2004, early 2005, and so I
Yep.
decided, you know what, I'm done with Portland. We don't have to do the foreclosures anymore, and so we started buying a whole bunch of properties in South Carolina. And so Portland, you could buy a house for 200 grand. South Carolina, you could buy a house for 25 grand. And so we just took the portfolio and said, all right, just buy more for the same dollars. And we were able to expand the portfolio huge in a couple of years.
Wow. And you had over what, 400 properties, I think, at one point?
Yeah, well over 150 sub twos, and then we bought the rest.
Wow.
Typically, we'd buy a house for 25, put about 15,000 in reno, and then sell it for 75, and carry that contract, that $35,000 differential. We would carry that as a second mortgage, and
Wow.
God for that, because that's what kept me alive financially. So the market fell, right? 08, 09. March of 08, we bought a 13-story apartment building, and with the plan of converting it into affordable housing, right? Into condos. That was the plan, was to do this condo conversion on this beautiful 13-story building, and didn't know it at the time, but we financed with Lehman Brothers, right? Didn't know like the
Wow.
problems behind the scenes with Lehman Brothers, but Lehman had been our bank for a couple of years, right? This wasn't just new. It took us a couple of months to put the transaction together. We bought the building for 3.3. We got a $6 million reno budget. We were supposed to do $1 million a month for 6 months, and then ultimately sell it for about 13, $14 million. That was the plan. And
Things don't often go according to plan, right?
God, it was a disaster. Like from the
Yeah.
get-go. Yeah, early June, July, we've already started. We replaced the roof. We'd already started on the doors. We'd already started on the windows. We'd already started on the relocation. We're going floor by floor from top to bottom. All of a sudden, we have $350,000 worth of windows delivered to our parking lot. Great. This is wonderful. This is
Yeah.
on schedule. They
Yep.
didn't pay for the crane. How do you get windows up a 13-story building? They didn't pay for the crane, right?
Wow.
And like, oh, this is problematic. This is late summer. We keep calling, we keep calling. Now we're getting behind schedule.
Right.
And then, of course, September happens and the bottom falls out. You've got Aquin falling, you've got Wachovia falling, you've got Washington Mutual.
Yep.
All of the banks are failing now, like this whole season. And I forget which order, but I think Bear Stearns went first, then Merrill, then Lehman.
The Lehman.
And
Yep.
yeah, we went into receivership 45 days later. Literally, I mean, we had this $40,000 a month mortgage with no occupancy, no windows, no doors. Like, how do you
Wow.
survive, right? I
Wow.
mean,
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
just like the perfect moment. And then our rentals, right? So Spartanburg has one employer, the BMW plant. Everything else is
Yep.
ancillary. And BMW, right? The car industry failed as well, right? And so all of a sudden we're at 30 some odd percent economic vacancy. People are still living in them. They're just not paying their rent.
Yep.
I
Wow.